Welcome to Waifu History, where today's ruler didn't just unify China, he made sure no one would ever disagree with him again. And yes, all characters are portrayed as ladies, specially designed for men of culture. Before China was one empire, it was a battlefield. For over 2 centuries, rival states fought endlessly for power. In Qin, order was not optional, it was enforced. Armies marched, cities burned, alliances formed, and collapsed just as quickly. This was the Warring States period, a world defined by chaos. But in the West, one state was different. Qin. Not the richest, not the most cultured, but the most disciplined. Qin followed legalism, a harsh philosophy built on absolute authority, strict laws, and total obedience. In Qin, order was not optional, it was enforced. In 259 BCE, Yingzheng was born into this world. His early life was anything but stable. His father had lived as a hostage in a rival state. The royal family's position was fragile. Power was never secure, only borrowed. At 13, he became king. Too young to rule, the court was controlled by regents, especially the powerful minister Liu Buwei. But Yingzheng was watching, learning, waiting. Court politics, child ruler, power-hungry advisors. Yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong here. As he grew older, Yingzheng began to take control. But the court was not yet his. Powerful court insider Lao Ai had built a faction at Yang. And when exposed, he ordered his forces to rise in revolt. At the gates, they met the king's loyal elite guard. The rebellion shattered completely. In the end, it was legalism, cold, rigid, and unforgiving, that protected the throne and sealed Lao Ai's fate. Those involved were executed, entire networks erased. And the fallout did not stop there. The rebellion that destroyed Lao Ai also brought down Liu Buwei. The message was clear: power would not be shared. By his early 20s, Yingzheng ruled Qin alone. With the court secured, he turned outward. Between 230 and 221 BCE, Qin launched a series of relentless campaigns. One by one, the rival states fell. Han, Zhou, Wei, Chu, Yan, Shi. Disciplined armies, ruthless strategy, total war. There would be no balance of power. Only one power. By 221 BCE, the wars were over. China was unified. Yingzheng took a new title, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. Not a king among many, but the ruler of all. But conquest was only the beginning. To rule an empire, he would reshape it. The feudal system was abolished. In its place, a centralized state. Officials were appointed, not born into power, and answered directly to the emperor. No region would stand independent again. Then came standardization. Writing, currency, weights, measurements. Across a vast and once divided land, everything would now function as one system. One language of rule, one structure of control. Roads and canals spread across the empire, binding distant regions together. Armies could move faster, trade could flow more easily. The empire was no longer a collection of states. It was a machine. He didn't just conquer China, he basically patched it into one operating system. But this order came at a cost. Hundreds of thousands of laborers were forced into massive construction projects. Roads, canals, walls. On the northern frontier, existing defenses were expanded and connected, forming what would later become known as the Great Wall. The work was brutal. Many never returned. Qin Shi Huang ruled through fear. The law was absolute. Punishments were severe. Disobedience was not corrected, it was eliminated. Control extended beyond actions into thought itself. In 213 BCE, books deemed politically dangerous were burned. Ideas that challenged the state, especially Confucian teachings, were suppressed. Some accounts describe scholars being executed. The exact number is debated. But the intent is not. There would be no rival voices, only the emperors. And then, something changed. Qin Shi Huang began to fear death. A ruler who had conquered nations could not conquer time. He sought immortality. Expeditions were sent to find mythical lands. Alchemists promised elixirs of eternal life. Many of these cures contained mercury, slowly poisoning the emperor they were meant to preserve. He suffered mood swings, memory loss, and trouble maintaining balance. By the end, he was becoming less like a leader and more a liability. Turns out, drinking liquid metal is not great for long-term health. At the same time, he prepared for the afterlife. Near modern-day Xi'an, a vast underground complex was built. It took decades, hundreds of thousands of workers, a city beneath the earth, and at its heart, an army. The Terracotta Army, thousands of life-size soldiers, each one unique. Faces, expressions, details, infantry, archers, cavalry, chariots, weapons placed in their hands, real functional weapons. They were not symbols. They were meant to serve. Even in death, the emperor would command an army. In 210 BCE, Qin Shi Huang died. Far from the capital, his death was kept secret. Officials feared what would happen if the empire learned too soon. According to historical accounts, parts of fish were used to mask the smell of decay during their return journey. Even in death, control was maintained, but behind the scenes, power shifted. The rightful heir, Fusu, was removed through manipulation by court official Zhao Gao.
公子，陛下有着，竟当为国捐躯。
是真的，父皇你我自裁。
公子，这不可能。
不，这是真的。
公子，这一定有问题。
有问题？我这就死给你看。
A younger son, Huai, took the throne. He was not the first emperor, and he could not hold what his father had built. Rebellions erupted. The same harsh laws, the same forced labor, the same system of fear, now turned against the state. Within years, the Qin dynasty collapsed. By 206 BCE, it was gone. And yet, what Qin Shi Huang created did not disappear. The centralized government, the unified systems, the structure of empire, all of it would be adopted by those who came after, especially the Han Dynasty. He unified a fractured world. He imposed order through fear. He tried to escape death, and failed. And failed. But in the end, the empire he built outlived him, and the army he buried is still standing, waiting. First Emperor of China, Professional overachiever? And somehow still less stable than his tomb.